This program is brought to you by UCKG.
It's happening in every neighborhood.
Open the door! Who is he? Huh? This is why you really want to leave me.
No, I didn't.
Down every street. Sickness. Addiction and violence has been turning countless homes into crime scenes. Suffering, depressed, alone, suicidal.
A very good evening to everyone. Welcome to your program, Problems and Solutions. You know that Jesus said, I have come to bring life and life more abundance. This is not my word or the word of a church. This is the word of Jesus. You know that when we talk about an abundance of life, an abundant life, is not just in terms of financially speaking, but is in terms of a different life. Because sometimes you are not living, you are surviving because of the problems and situations that you are living. I want to tell you that we are here to help you. We are here to help you at this time. You can call us, you can text us, and we have right now the pleasure to speak to you. The same way that one day God took us out of a terrible life and God restored our life and gave us a new chance to live, the same wants to do in your life. If you'd like to be in contact with us, you will see below your screen our telephone number, our WhatsApp number as well, and you can contact us. And surely a new life will start from this program on. And we're going to watch in the meantime testimonies of people that found an abundance of life. And if you want an abundance of life, if you are tired of living as you are living, if you want a different life, this program is made to you. Watch careful and we'll be back to you straight after.
Hi, my name is Priscilla, and at the age of 15, I started going to the clubs. I would go there with friends, my cousins, and even my boyfriend, who is now my husband. So we would go there every Saturday. He would spend a lot of time with me the whole Saturday. We'd go to movies, and afterwards we'd head to the clubs. And there I would drink, I would laugh, line with friends, and we would have a really good time. But most of all, I would dance. I got a lot of attention when I danced. I started going with my husband, and from there, this was just temporary for 3 years. I got married, and when I got married, everything changed. I had my first son, and I noticed that my husband started paying less attention, and he would go out with his friends. I was no longer his number one. He would go with his friends, he would smoke, he would line with them, come home all hours of the night, 1, 2 o'clock. And when he would come home, we would argue a lot. I would do the arguing at night, and in the morning time I would be more peaceful and calm, and he would be arguing in the morning. So there was always an argument, and it would always be opposite times. So the house became very upside down. So things got more worse. And I noticed he started staying one day out, and then he would come home the other day. And this is where I spent the worst moments of my life. Also, we had separated a lot, and for months he would be away from me, and then he'd come back, and it was like a cycle. Each time we would make up, then we would break up. But I realized it was a generational curse as well, because my parents also, their first marriage didn't work out. They got divorced. On his side was the same as well. They got divorced, and it came from our grandparents as well. So it was a generational curse that had to be broken. I first heard about the Universal Church through my sister. She came to the Universal Church and used her faith. She couldn't conceive before. and she had a baby, and she invited me to come. So the first time I went to the main branch, which is when a pastor spoke to me. He told me to come for a prayer. I told him I couldn't stay, but after praying for me, tears fell from my eyes and I felt light. He told me, he said, can you go on one day longer with your same problems? And that kept beating in my mind over and over and over. And I decided to come. Ever since that, I started coming every Sunday. Then I started to do the chain of prayers. I would come every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday and make the chain. At times it would be very hard to come and not break the chain, but I saw the results. I saw the power of God by coming and doing this chain. My daughter, she had an ear infection and the medication didn't work. So I used my faith with the olive oil and I saw the results. So that encouraged me to do other chain of prayer. I had two sons who had asthma, and you all know at night times you have to go there in the health center, and it just took a lot of time, patience, and it would sometimes be so terrible. They were also healed from asthma. So I saw the power of God in their lives as well. I started putting aside everything. I locked off from Facebook, from WhatsApp. I stopped listening to the worldly music. I started paying more attention to the Word of God in the church, started practicing it. And when I go home, I would even watch the TV program. So when I started investing more time on the Word of God and eliminating everything from the world, I decided to go down on my knees. Going down on my knees and really repented from everything that I've done. Because although you know about God and you went against Him, it was that day that I really repented. I went on my knees and I told them how sorry I was for all the sin that I did. And when I got up, I was no longer accused in my mind of what I did in the past. Just that day, I would never forget. It was a day that I would always remember, because on that day I never felt such great love, joy inside of me. And anytime I reflect on that verse or meditate on that verse, I would remember my meeting with Him, my encounter with Him. So ever since that day, my whole life changed. Everything about me, it's like my whole character changed. Instead of just with the intention of coming to church to receive, I was able to give what I received. So I started joining the groups because of what I received inside of me. The same way I repented, I changed, and I give my life to God. The same way you can too, because He loves you more than you can imagine. And you can only feel that love and experience that love and know about that love when you give Him a chance. He's waiting on you.
Depression. There are many possible causes of depression. It's believed that several different forces can interact to bring on depression due to the millions, even billions of chemical reactions going on in our brain that can affect how we process situations and experience life. Whether it be traumatic moments or simply just seasons changing, all is said to be causes of depression. The perplexing studies behind depression certainly shouldn't be dismissed, but beyond the physical factors of mental illness come the spiritual factors. Behind all the physical aspects of depression is an evil spirit that brings constant thoughts of sadness, crying spells, insomnia, discouragement, and forces you to do your best to manage the symptoms and hope things get better eventually. Depression has stolen your joy, hobbies, pleasures, quality time with family and loved ones. Depression has stolen your life, and it's not fair. You feel devastated, misunderstood, and alone. You've tried doctors, medication, and just shaking it off like everyone says, but nothing works. You're exhausted and longing to go back to a time when you were once happy. Join us at a universal church near you we have an inspiring message and strong deliverance prayers for you or a loved one you know who is currently experiencing depression. Don't lose hope. We know there is a way out of depression. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. Depression can be defeated. It's time to end depression and begin living.
Good day, my name is Shirley Krzysztofowski. Before coming to the UCKG Help Center, I had suffered from depression as well as a low self-esteem. At the age of 13, I started experimenting with alcohol, and by 16, I had added cannabis to my experimenting. I started dating, and as well, I moved out of home. The boyfriend that I had at the time became the father of my child at the age of 18. And because of the mistakes that I had made and the wrong choices that I made in my teen years, I didn't see a brighter future. This sent me into a low self-esteem and a depression where I couldn't see any future that was bright ahead of me. Because of the mistakes that I had made, I lived in regret for a very long time. Later on, the father of my child and I separated, and I started dating another boyfriend. We had physical fights, and the ultimate fight that we had led me to being arrested. Being in prison for 3 to 4 days was one of the lowest points in my life. And at this point, I was hopeless. I saw no way out. At a later stage, my current husband came to the UCKG before me. And because he was suffering from addictions and I saw how he got liberated and freed from those addictions, I found hope. At first, I was reluctant to come because I did not believe that my situation could change. But when I saw how he overcame, I too came to the UCKG Help Center. Here, I received strength through the counselings, through the instructions that were given to me. And I began to use my faith, although at first I did not believe. But as I obeyed and I went forward, I became stronger. And today, I have peace. I have a calming way. I can look to the future with brightness, and I'm confident of what is coming ahead of me. I strongly advise you that is out there right now. You may be living in a dark hole, not seeing a way out, living in regret, unable to forgive yourself for the mistakes that you made. Come to the UCKG Help Center. We are here to help you. You can overcome your problems as I have today.
My dear friend, this abundance of life is available to you. It's there right before you. You saw the testimonies, you saw the stories, you saw what God performed in people's lives and what God is performing in people's lives in nowadays. Because stories, testimonies, miracles are not something of the past. God continues performing miracles. If you want to be part of this cloud of miracles, if you want an abundance of life that only God, through the Spirit of God, can give you, you know, my dear friend, you are our guest to join us. Here in Stockholm, we have our Universal Church with the doors open every single day, where we have services in the morning at 10 o'clock and in the evening at 7 p.m. But the doors are open every day and you can come to visit us. We are at the Birger Jarlsgatan 106, very close to the t-bana Tekniska, here in Stockholm. And by the way, tomorrow, Thursday, we'll be praying for your family, we'll be praying for your marriage, we'll be praying for your life to be restored. And you are our guest to join us. For more information, you can visit our website, uckg.se. Also, we have our branch in Göteborg at the Ringögatan 13, Infart 7, where we are there every week, also to give you this strength, to pass to you this abundance of life. My dear friend, grab your opportunity, take this chance, and surely that a new life will start from this moment on. It was a pleasure to be with you. Until next time, may God bless you.
I'm not leaving this hospital until I know what's wrong with my daughter.
If you want out, that's fine with me.
This program is brought to you by UCKG.